He would suppress our culture before it's had a chance to grow. Everything my people cultivated would be reduced to a footnote. If you have any love for this land, do not allow him to overwrite our history.
Brawatai built its empire from colonies like this. Many have become centers of culture and prosperity, backed by the protection of a strong navy. Of course, it can take decades to get there. And this road isn't an easy one. But Adir won't be the only empire eyeing this place. A formal agreement now could protect us from something worse later.
It shall be peaceful in that all dissenters will be silenced. So there's that.
The Living Lands is a lot of things, but it will never be Adir, no matter how hard Adir wants it to be. Adir should turn back now and save everyone a bunch of blessed day trouble.
Of course.
The Living Lands would retain its own laws under a grave appointed by the Emperor. The grave would be expected to promote and develop the Living Lands to our mutual benefit. They would divide the island into administrative districts and see them governed by mayors appointed from the local communities. The island would provide tribute in the form of resources and taxes, and in times of war, soldiers. The Empire, I should note, is nearly always at war. In return, the Living Lands would enter Adir's sphere of influence, and should outside nations attempt to invade, we would come to the Grave Room's aid.
It's a mealy-mouthed compromise. But better than going on as my wardens have been. Barely able to feed ourselves or protect our sorry hides. And, who knows, we could become a colony in time.
A grave room wouldn't be my first choice. But we're going to need a hand with all the dream thralls left in Shatterscarp. So if the Emperor's willing to pitch in, then I guess so am I.
If a grave room will put an end to the fighting and allow my people to remain safely in Paradis, I suppose this is an arrangement I could accept.
Naturally, that would be the Emperor's decision. But I suspect he would choose you. Only the strong survive the frontier. I used to believe that was Ludwig. But you were born to rule here. Quite literally. Come now. You didn't get this far on heritage alone.
Tribute, he says. Taxes, soldiers. The Empire has tried it all before. Look to the Eastern Reach if you don't believe me. They want to bleed us dry, to fill their coffers and fight their wars, to break us like wild animals. But I will not bet.
It's still a gamble, but I think it's the safest bet. We get the benefits of Imperial trade and protection without losing all of what makes this place special. There's no way of knowing what it would mean in another generation or two. But right now, it gives us the security and stability to recover.
We were fine before Adir showed up, and we'll be fine when they're gone. Trust the lands and her people, Envoy.
If we give Adir power over us, we can't be surprised if they decide to flex it later.
Of course. Oh, Envoy, no. Do not suggest that lightly. Think of the Emperor. There would be reprisals. Ones which this conclave could not survive, fractured as you are. Not unless you came together and formed a nation of your own. It would be difficult. No, impossible. I'm certain you would fail. Think of your people, all of you. Think of the lives at stake.
Envoy, be rational. This would be madness. We are all strangers to each other. We can't govern. I can't trust these people to keep my warden's best interests at heart when they're looking after their own.
Thirdborn alone couldn't stand against the storm. But the might of all of us, together? We could deter any but the most fearsome adversaries. And that's what cannons are for.
If we do this, I fear the Empire will revenge themselves on us with cruelty and hellfire, and the home my people nearly lost will finally be destroyed. But if this is what this conclave wants, then Fior will stand beside you.
We deserve our autonomy, even if we must fight for it. Anything less would be surrender.
Fleeing someone else's laws and authority is one thing, setting up your own is another. We're an island of misfits and dissidents. We'll still have to surrender some of our autonomy, and we won't agree on what that means overnight. We'll be vulnerable. Without allies, other powers will see us as ripe for the picking. Know that this is a hard road to walk.
We were fine before Adir came. We'll be fine when they're gone.
I think we ran things perfectly fine before your kin got here.
Well, let's not twiddle our thumbs while Paradis burns. A fine compromise.
The Wardens of Solace concur.
The people of Fior will accept a grave room.
Thirdborn will support a grave room, unless the Empire inspires us to change our mind.
I do not trust your empire to show restraint in its control of the living lands. God's help.
We can worry about the future when it comes. This at least gives us the backing to survive and rebuild.
Right. Might as well go ahead and start designing those rebel flags sooner rather than later.
Good. We'll have perhaps a whole week of peace before the yoke starts chafing.
I will do my level best to convince the Emperor to accept a grave room. That leaves the matter of Ludwine and the Steel Garrote. She will never surrender, Envoy. You must kill her, or we will lose Paradis, and eventually the island.
Whatever happens to the living lands, at least I can kill Ludwine. I'll take that over nothing.
She better say her goodbyes while she can.
I'm proud to fight at your side, Envoy.
Let's get to work then. We've got a walking corpse to bury.
The Paradis militia will be at your back. Give her no quarter. The future waits for you.
Good luck, Envoy. You'll need it.
Gather your forces and secure the eastern gate. From there, take back the main plaza. I have faith in you. When my homeland needed one, we all do what we must. Gods be with you, Envoy.
Let's take back the city. Whatever happens tomorrow, the Steel Garrote can only make it worse.
So we're going after the Steel Garrote now, right? Let's do it.
Let's finish this.
protect your back.
Ready, all
Nothing
right?
like a win with a good team.
Another soul for the wheel.
Envoy! I doubted I'd ever see you again. I imagine I could guess what brings you back to Paradis. I must thank you once again for bringing me the Luminous Adra so long ago. With some creative exploration, I was able to refine the Adra into a poultice that heals wounds at a fantastic... Yes, one almost has the inkling that danger lurks around the corner. I know you have much to do in town, so I'll let you go. Thank you again for...
We should go now. The fighting's died down.
Can you not hear the screaming outside?
She's right. We can't go now. Envoy, am I ever glad to see you?
What was that? Aha! Protect the envoy.
Better armor! Work!
Envoy over here. What exactly do you think you're doing? You nearly died in my clinic. Correction, you did die. And now look at you, fighting the steel garrote. What have you got to say for yourself? That's the worst excuse I've ever heard, and believe me, I've heard it all. We're patching up folks as best we can, but I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. War is a damn bloody... Much appreciated. Wait a second. Jada? Jada Castell? What are you doing in the...
Surviving. It's good to see you, Liviana. Unfortunately, we're on a tight schedule. Do you need anything?
Once this is over, I could always use another pair of hands at the clinic. The invitation's still open.
As you're always quick to remind me. But I must consider my options. I hope that isn't a problem.
Take all the time you need. The clinic isn't going anywhere. Gods be with you, Envoy. For my sake, try not to die a second.
Come on. You know this. You practiced with Uncle Capo 100 times. Tight? Not too tight. You don't want to cut off the blood flow.
you are! Come. So, you survived the garden. Did you come all this way just to try your luck again? To kill me more efficiently than last time? You'll get your chance. Look around, Envoy. Heelguard should have listened. He tried to bring order through compromise. He failed. Order is meant to be imposed by a stern, guiding hand. Heelguard is a fool if he thinks half measures will save the island. When this is over, I'll instruct him, personally. As for you, Sapadal may be gone, but their offspring remains. And I cannot suffer even a remnant to live. Congratulations on being the last of your kind. At least Sapadal cannot trouble us with another godlike. Their lineage ends here. Steel yourself, Envoy. Make this a fight to remember, even in death. My fate keeps me alive. Let's see if yours can do the same. Farewell, Envoy.
Famous last words.
There's no coming back this time. Prepare yourself for the next world. You show such promise, Let's go. Wherever Ludwine is now, she must be seething.
Of course, we'd be happy to kill her again, if needed.
She's done for, but we're not. Whatever's next, we'll face it. Together.
Guys, you're all gonna make me sick. But carry on.
Silence falls over Paradise, as though the city is holding its breath. Then you hear it, the ringing of a distant bell, the waving of banners, and there is an absence in your thoughts where Sapadal dwelled. Once, the Paradise militia rallies to you, the outsider who defended them in their hour of need. You take a moment to reflect on the calm. Not so long ago, you arrived at these shores on a simple errand. The dream scourge is over, and the island has been cleansed of plague. A time of healing and mourning. You tell them the truth, how the origin of the plague has been destroyed, put out of its misery, and leave it at that. With your guidance, the Living Lands becomes a vassal of the Adiran Empire. In exchange for their taxes and soldiers, the free settlements are protected from future attacks. The fight for survival is... You showed the rebels of Paradise mercy, but they can never trust the Empire. Instead, they keep to the wilderness, always 2 steps ahead of Adir, only attacking when provoked. That is as close as they come to peace. The refugees of Emerald Stair find a cold welcome in the city of Paradise. Animancy is frowned upon, but their knowledge of agriculture is highly valued. The first bountiful harvest improves relations. In time, the people of Emerald Stair return to their city of Fior Messiverno. Animancy still has a place in the Living Lands, but the Empire's disapproval gets in the... After so much chaos, the people of Shatterscarp find a moment to breathe. As a gesture of goodwill to its grave room, Adir sends a regiment to purge the remaining dream thralls still haunting the wilderness. But with the sound of Adiran cannons in the air, many Thirdborners wonder what their lives will look like when there is no longer a common. There is rubble where Solace once stood, and the Pargrunen must now confront the consequences of their isolationism. Though the rest of... When Kai returns to Thirdborn, he's no longer running. He finds a town that's been diminished by struggle, conflict. With his travels alongside the envoy complete, Marius is left directionless once again. Rather than disappearing into his cups, however, Marius leans on... Giada learned much in your time together. How to stand up to authority. No longer under the threat of imminent death, Yardsley returns to the animate. Alone in your thoughts, you feel endless opportunities stretching out before you. This is the freedom Sapadal never had. You promise to cherish it. The sounds of celebration pull you out of reverie. Many are waiting to greet you with open arms. You take a moment to catch your breath and savor it, because everything is about to change.